You're going to keep an eye on me. So, Randall, Aaron, Simon, one of the job, I didn't get to see the first two presenters. I apologize. We had a couple issues going. I'm not going to get into that. Belabor the issue. Many of you are looking to move on here. So, let me just start off by saying this. When you look at the county right now, we have a great opportunity. This is a pretty exciting time for us. There is going to be a new Macomb, an ex Macomb. The question is going to be who's going to be the face of Macomb County to move us forward. Right now, it's about marketing the assets and what we have here in this county. There are going to be, without question, challenges dealing with current budgetary issues. And that's going to be a matter of governance. How do we deal with our current budget crisis? And when that first executive comes into play, they're going to have to take a look at the entire structure of county government, try to make a determination, how do we consolidate? But not just consolidate county government. How do we incorporate other local municipalities into that consolidation process? Even if it means going to our state legislators and trying to figure out how do we work with the state so there is not a redundancy or duplication of effort. When it comes to the governance part, that's going to be, in my opinion, very simple for me to manage and understand and know how to actually work through that process. I've been doing it for the last 10 years as your county sheriff, and for 20 years prior to that as an employee of this county. I understand good governance. I understand how to run a business when it comes to dealing with public business. When it comes to the other issues such as jobs, understand that we do not create jobs in a government environment. We create opportunities for business to thrive. There are going to be many different things that come into play to make a determination as to how do we roll out the red carpet. How do we let people know that we're open for business? And Charlie is looking at me staring because I've gone too far already. And
listen, you've got to go. I don't. So go right ahead.
Let me hit this real quick. What we're looking for, again, I think I've been able to show and establish over my last 10 years as sheriff and probably the last 30 years, accessibility, accountability, and something who's going to be a true advocate for this area. I think I've done it as sheriff, and there's absolutely no question about it. I'm going to carry that same mindset into the office of executive to be Macomb County's first executive. Charlie, your turn.
Anyway, I asked you another question. $23 billion budget deficit, first day on the job. Can you right now today say that county employees will not be laid off, or that you will not ask unions for consent?
I cannot say either of those will be the case. So in other words, there may be concessions, and there probably will be some layoughs. I think it's going to be a combination of many of those things, because that is it. If you look already what the county board has already done, they've already got some of the low-hanging fruit picked from the trees. There's no question about it. When we start looking at the budget itself, it's going to cause, when we start talking about budgets, everybody starts looking at local municipalities, state, county government. It's not going to be a matter of doing less. It's going to be a matter of making sure that we have less to offer as well. It's an unfortunate reality, but right now we're not going to be in a position of doing the things we like to do. It's going to be more, what are the needs, what are the real responsibilities of government, and what are the efficiencies currently with what we're doing? How do we provide those services at the most cost-effective way? And right now, there's no question about it. This is going to be a troubling thing for anybody who becomes a county executive, anybody who's a mayor, anybody who becomes a governor, trying to figure out how do you cut that budget without laying people off or without reducing certain services.
Any priorities right now that would be non-touchable or first on the chopping block?
There's nothing. Everything's on the table. Everything is on the table, and right now I'm working through that. Right now it's not about an election. I'm not running out there trying to win an election. Right now I'm trying to provide direction. My whole objective in dealing with what I've been dealing with my staff, not just with the sheriff's department, we're currently trying to figure out how do we downsize our budget, preparing for next year's cuts, but I'm also looking at the entire operations of the county budget right now as a candidate for county executive to try to figure out how do we intertwine the executive office and bring these departments together and so we can consolidate. I've been working currently with a couple different municipalities, and I'm not going to mention who they are, trying to figure out how we consolidate services for dispatching. Let's face it, there's a duplication redundancy for everybody here who lives in a municipality. Whether you live in Warren, East Point, Center, Shelby Township, Clinton Township, you're paying for dispatch service in your municipality. You're also paying for the county's dispatch and a state dispatch. If we can find a way to consolidate that, put it under one roof, that's a true savings for every one of those levels of government, local as well as county. And those are things we're working on currently. So it's not so much about winning election, as it is providing direction from January 1st, 2011, so we can start moving forward rather than having to wait to put a plan forward in a 180-day process.
Federal jobs program, federal government has a lot of money. Would you rule out any assistance from the federal government?
I would not rule out any assistance from the federal government. I think right now what we need to do as a county executive, we got to finally give our leadership. Now, we talk about lobbyists up in Lansing and Washington. The real lobbyists are the people that we elect to go to Lansing, to go to Washington. What we need to do is bring those people to the table. We need to bring them to the table along with the business sector, whether it's a chamber of commerce, and give them direction. The company has never had direction before. provide that vision, provide the direction, and have those bodies, as our elected officials, go to Lansing to start bringing back some of the funding that we need. We have always been, and I think many of the other candidates have mentioned, that we've been a donor county for way too long. And it's because when we send people out there, they don't have direction, they don't have a vision, they're going to have a true understanding of what our needs are, and not just here in Macomb County. This region needs to succeed for the state to succeed. I've already reached across the boundaries, as I have with Dean and Sheriff, but I've reached across the boundaries to our borders. Dale Patterson, Bob Gunn, Dave Big. I've been talking to many people already, bringing them together to say, you know what are our needs and what are the most important things we need to do? And I can tell you, one of the people that probably has given me a lot of information is Bruce Patterson, is you need to market your assets. You need to market what you currently have, and even he knows that Macomb County is on the verge of being the first one on its economic calendar if it's done right.
Bruce Patterson hates the federal job creation program. He said it was terrible.
And he also hates the smoking ban too.
He's supposed to Mayor, basically the concept here would be tax incentives for businesses that come into the county, they get some tax abatements. Is that a good policy? Because less money goes back to your government.
No question about it. Right now, we got, let me talk about enterprise zones. I think they're a great opportunity for us, and we know right now there's going to be some of them that are going to be offered down in Wayne County. Brooks Patterson was pushing very hard to ensure that we had 10 more of those that were going to be at large for the different municipalities throughout the state to vie for. And I think we need to take a look at it. I think it's an opportunity. It's on the table as a possibility, and I think it provides some good opportunities for us here in the county. Will it lessen the taxes coming into local municipalities in the county? Absolutely. But the question becomes, we've got to look at that offsetting balance. Right now, we all know we got expenditures are high, revenues are low. We've got a structural deficit. We got to try to figure out, even if we offer some incentives, some tax incentives to business, how is that going to come into play, and what is the real issue going to be with that revenue coming in, incorporating that into that process as well?
Kind of an unusual question here. Special events in Macomb County, like marathons, I understand you're a runner, cruises, art festivals, and everything. I think the question really is branding Macomb County. If I went to Los Angeles and they asked where are you from, and I said I'm from Macomb County, what would you want me to tell the people in California about Macomb County?
I think everybody talks about this, right? First,
In one or two words.
This is going to be tough. See, that's why I don't like to give us 90 seconds to tell ourselves the world's problems. It doesn't happen like that, okay? You got the world trying to deal with it for the last 5 years, and it doesn't happen. We have got so many assets, I mean, tremendous opportunities here. One of the things we talked about, my big focus is going to be dealing with governance, making sure that that's part of the budgetary issue. Talking about job creation, how do we bring that economy, how do we get people to want to invest here in Macomb County? But the other one is quality of life and infrastructure. Those are extremely important, especially the kids that are going to college. Why do they want to stay here? Why do they want to be in this area? And some of the assets we have, we talk about Lake St. Clair. Everybody wants to talk about that. It's Lake St. Clair. It is a great lake. It is our great lake. It is the 6th lake out there. Nobody wants to call it, but it is a true asset. It's our drinking water. And if you look at the actual Clinton River, which I'm going to be on tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, traveling down there with the people from the Watershed Council, as well as the people that understand issues about the economy, and how we can turn that into a viable area for us, and how it can help the system of Macomb County. I'm trying to keep it high side. I'm not done. I'm ready to go. Stick around. Where's the dessert? Give us dessert out there.
You know what? About 1 minute. 1 minute.
Put a clock up here.
Well, summarize, if you're elected county executive, what would be the first thing, and we didn't get it in your plan, when it's 90 or 180 days, your organizational plan, something that the charter says you've got to do, but in about 1 minute or so, and kind of wrap it up, Mr. Hackel.
Let me help you.
Thank you.
Bottom line is, when I started looking at county executive and their responsibility, much like the sheriff, I don't care if there's a D next to your name, if there's an R next to your name, if there's a T next to your name. The reality is, we need somebody that's going to be essential. Somebody right now that's going to bring the parties together, bring people together that want to be part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. Right now, we have too many people that want to weigh in and negativism and criticism and pointing fingers. Everybody's pointing and trying to fix blame instead of fix the problems. My job day one, no matter who gets elected into office, whether it's county commissioners, state representatives, and even people from our federal representation, trying to bring them to the table to figure out exactly what do we need to do to move forward. I'm currently doing that right